First things first, boss, if we can just find out the latest injury news. What's the latest coming out of the treatment room, please?
Well, Danny is still struggling with his groin, still a little bit sore. Tom Sowers has picked up a little bit of a hamstring strain as well, so he's going to struggle for tomorrow, or for Saturday, should I say. I think everybody else is okay, bar Ian Murray came back into training this week, so and then we've obviously got 3 lads suspended, Hammond, McPake and Griffiths, so we're a little bit shorter this week than we are last week, but we still got plenty of players there and bodies there to fill in.
Talking about players that aren't available, big question is, everyone's really excited about this one. Has Jorge Claras got clarification on playing?
That's hard to say. He has, yeah. He's trained this morning. All his paperwork is through, so he's available for selection. He trained this morning. We'll see how he is tomorrow. And there's no reaction to that because he's done a little bit of travelling over the last few days. So, but he should be available to play. Yeah.
Without going into too much detail, because I presume Aberdeen coaches and officials watch Hibernian TV in terms of our formation, are we going to change it slightly?
I think what we have now, we've brought in some players that lets us tinker with the formation in certain games, and we will do that over the course of the season. We had a formation last week that we thought would suit as well to Kilmarnock, and in the end it did. Could be a little bit different to Aberdeen, they play a little bit differently to Kilmarnock, so, but like you said, we don't want to give too much away going into the game, but we will tinker a little bit with it.
Obviously the 2 regular centre halves that started last week and recorded that clean sheet, that's our first clean sheet since Celtic at Parkhead, so a long time waiting for that. They're obviously not available, but do you feel that it illustrates the strength in depth, that it's not a massive headache for you to think about different
Yeah,
players?
I think what we have is we've got some decent players there now that can come in and play. Obviously Big Denzo and Sean and Paul and Sean have been out for the last couple of weeks. Matt can play there as well, so we got a little bit covered there, and I think it's important. I think what last week shown what we want from defenders, and have set a benchmark to say, well, if we want to be in the team, that's how you got to play, and that's how you got to perform as a defender. So that's a good thing and a positive, and players will either take that on board and grasp that, or else they'll shy away from it a little bit. So we'll find out over the weekend who's willing to step up to the plate.
So Michael Hart left on deadline day. You brought in Matt Doherty. Do you view him as being your first choice right back now for the rest of the season, or do you feel that George Franken will
No, I think what we have with Matt, like I said before, and George, we've got a little bit of utility with both of them. George can play in the middle of the park and he can play right back, and Matt can play right back, centre half, he can play left back as well. So we felt that was important, that we got players in, not just that can fill one position, but maybe able to fill in other areas for us, and that's with the situation we're in, that's crucial that we have players that can do that. We find ourselves in a situation at the weekend where we've got 3 players suspended, so players being able to play in different areas will be helpful for us.